What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. And yes, I am solo. I am solo right now. I should have Anthony joining me a little bit later, all right? But a big one today, obviously, Champions League. Top 8 hopes are on the line, and Motta set to unleash the absolute best possible. No excuses for Juve? Well, we'll get into all of that today, all right? And unfortunately, Deschiliopa, I am sorry, my friend. The watch-along plans are falling through. I am unable to get out of work, so I will not be able to have the watch-along, all right? So my apologies. I wanted to rock one big time today, okay? But, hey, wherever. We're all together in spirit, urging the team on, and hopefully we get a good showing. We'll need a good showing. This is going to be a very, very good game, I think, and it's going to play out very, very well. Two teams that actually, in terms of philosophies, want to do the exact same thing, but there's a couple discrepancies there between them, and we will take a look at it together, okay? Now, as far as news, we are going to go through some of the headlines. I got to know where some of you stand, okay? And this is an interesting piece. It's been reported several other times as well, and that is that Agnelli is doing everything in his power to work back his way into the club. So, gotta obviously ask the question, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings on that? On Andrea Agnelli returning? And yes, we are going to put a poll here. Okay, I will start up a poll for everybody that's in the live chat here. Okay, Agnelli back. And I'm curious to see the percentages, where you all kind of stand and everything. And I'll give my sense on it. First, I guess I'll kind of give you the report, and it's been coming out for several outlets and whatnot. And Mirko Nicolino today just states it's not the first time this rumor has circulated. In recent days, it has reignited. The former president is already working to lay the foundations for his comeback, having moved away from Italian football to Holland for work. The former president of Juventus often returns to Italy, and not only for pleasure. Agnelli is not at all happy with how his experience at Juventus ended. As the most winning president in history, he chose to step away to allow the old lady to best defend herself from some issues that are more media than legal. But love for the Bianconeri colors has never waned. It seems that in the future he wants to take back what was taken away. Agnelli is taking all those steps that are needed to get back in charge of Juve, but the question is how? Setting aside capital by seeding everything that can be sold and contacting foreign investors. We're talking about Arab interests. In addition, the former president of Juventus has deepened his discussions with managers and other important business personalities to prepare for a return in style. Nothing that can be done in 2 days. Be careful, since it is in all probability a long and tortuous path, but apparently the itch to return to Juventus is not going away for Agnelli, and recovering Juventus remains one of his goals in the future. Well. Where do we stand? So, we've got Deschiliopa saying yes. Alex Juve, Agnelli back. See, need a president with balls. Alex P, Agnelli in. We're a shit show right now. Management is a letdown. Christian, we finally have a project sporting director and manager to be excited about. I don't want to go backwards. I think there's a very strong chance that would happen should Agnelli take a majority ownership role. Oof. Never really seen Elkan as a leader of the club. So Agnelli back would be interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I can see both sides of it. as far as the poll goes, 40% yes, 60% vote no right now as it stands. I got to say this. It was incredible, the run that he took us through and everything. It also ended very, very poorly. And there was a lot of mismanagement under his tutelage, okay? Under his leadership towards the end. Just because Elkan is a different style and not as hands-on or direct, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, let the guys that you've actually hired do their job. Agnelli stepped in on countless things. Countless things. And he wasn't right in the moves that he made after. And he circumnavigated the guys that he had hired that put in place to kind of do a job. It's just different. But maybe some time away did him some good. Maybe it made him realize where he went wrong. But I said the same thing about Max Allegri. I just feel, in the grand scheme of things, I'm done with returns, you guys. I'm done. I am so done with returns. However, I will open myself up to it in this manner. If rumors are true of Elkan looking to actually sell a portion or whatnot, then he can get his way in. But I always said, if Agnelli comes back in, it can't be at the same capacity. Hire people to do their job, but trust them. But I tend to be leaning towards the no returns thing. I have a lot of love for Agnelli. He will always be held in high regard, despite how things had ended there, because of the run that he took us on and everything. But there's just no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees in football. He had his run. He made his mark. I don't know how confident I am in going back to it. But this story is not going to go away. So get ready for this one to be ongoing for quite some time. And then we'll see what ends up happening. But it doesn't surprise, and it shouldn't surprise anybody that he's looking to get back and wants to get back. I think a lot of us said, let's wait till all the smoke settles in terms of the legal issues and what was coming there at the past season, and then see exactly what happens. But for me right now, yeah, I just think things are moving in the right direction. Let's keep it going that way. Let's keep it going that way. Is it perfect right now? No. But it's still very, very new and very, very fresh for them. So let's see. Let's see. In terms of other news, Douglas Luiz back in the squad list today. All right, back in the squad list today. That's good. They are pushing to try and get Nico Gonzalez available for the Derby de la Mola. So that's it on the injury front. Milik continues to be late December. We talked about the injury report for our opponents. We will get into that when we start to highlight the matchup ahead of us. In terms of the defense, Radu Dragusin, the big unknown there, and many of you from the daily update video in the comments, we all seem to feel the same way, okay? And that is that essentially nobody has any idea where Tottenham stands on this, and none of us feel like they are going to be willing to open themselves up to that move. Skriniar seems the most polished, let's call it, out of all of them, okay? Out of all of them, the most polished, and seems to be the most realistic. However, okay? However, I just can't get... I try to open myself up to it. The majority of you want Skriniar, okay? And let's start another one here. I'm going to finish the Agnelli one, and it finished with the majority in favor of no return there for Agnelli. I'm simply going to put Skriniar down here. And oh my God, did I ever butcher that spelling. Skriniar to Juve, yes or no? Where are you guys at? I still might have spelt it incorrect. I don't know. I can't tell right now. So Skriniar. Matt says no immediately. I wouldn't touch Skriniar with a barge pole. Okay. 60% no immediately off the hop. Starting to level out. 43%, 57%. We'll get back to that. We're going to keep on some of the thoughts and comments about moving in the right direction right now. Alex P saying, you think things are going in the right direction? 200 million wasted. 200 million wasted. How? How is it wasted? We have a guy, I refuse to label anybody a flop at this moment in time. Results are disappointing. We're 4 points out of top. We dropped one game in against Stuttgart, which was completely disappointing. But are the results that disappointing? I don't know. I was there backing the last manager at results that were pretty similar. You know, he got off to a flying start. I don't know. There was a lot of draws in there too. Squeaking through. I think it's too early to go in either direction. Like I've been saying. As of late, I'm right here. I'm right in the middle. But the cleanup job that had to be done on the roster absolutely had to be done. You've got a lot of steal pickups in there. Like Cabal could be a steal. Kalulu seems to have been a steal so far. Knock on wood. Keep it going. You picked up Cope Miners. Cope Miners is a great player. Top 3 mid in the league. I don't understand why people are disappointed or why they feel that way. I can't agree with it. So for me, I think things are definitely moving in the right direction. Skriniar, 63% say yes now to Skriniar. And I do believe I have Anth joining me here. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
There we go. How do I sound? I'm in a new setup for temporary setup. How do I sound?
You sound good. Look at the backdrop there with that little canvas there. Nice.
Look at that son of a bitch, eh? Look at that.
Look at that. Love it. Love it. Well.
Yeah. Yes, sir. What did I miss?
No rest for the wicked. Just going through some of the headlines.
Mm-hmm.
And 60% roughly not in favor of an Agnelli return. What are your thoughts if that should go down?
I've had some thoughts about this. I've thought about it a little bit. I don't know. Everything's because it's like everything's going so smooth right now. It's like let's just see where it goes in the short term. I can see why people would want him back because of the symbolism in the family and the history. I get it. Is that what most people are saying? It's like the family legacy and the name. I'm sure that's what has a lot to do.
Some of them are still in doubt, I'd say, of the leadership from Elkan. It's more to do with Elkan not being, I think they're just so used to Agnelli who's hands-on. And Elkan is not that guy. And he's letting the guys he hired run the show.
Well, that's normally what an owner does, is you let them run the show.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So, like you look at some owners that are hands-on, how's that working out for them? Look at some of these other clubs where the owners are hands-on, they're complete lunatics. Like, do you want that? I don't think Agnelli would be that. I'm really on the fence over this. I don't know how. I saw somebody put on the Matrix, this would mean that Max is coming back.
Not as coach, but maybe as a director or something. But I'm telling you right now, I do have mixed feelings. I understand that. I'm leaning towards just no. But
I agree.
I open myself up if we are looking to sell. Like if there's any rumors there that even portion or whatever, okay, well then maybe that opens the door, gets him back. But for him to come back and be hands-on, I'm really left with the mismanagement over the past 40 years that we went through under him that I just didn't really like and doesn't sit well. So I'm leaning towards let's go the new direction, which is let the guys you hire do their job and be accountable and be responsible.
I'm going to
Go.
say it opened the door to that whole Super League thing again, which we all agreed with, we all like. But do we need that? Do we need that noise
I'm gonna say something
right
too
now?
that I don't think has been mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of puts a target on us.
Bingo. There
As
you go.
much as I hate to say it,
Mm-hmm.
I love the fight. I love that everything, but he's got too many people that hate him.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's for the good of. It's a tough one. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tough one. But
It
like
is.
those are the immediate things that stick out. Is he's also a target. And actually Vincenzo G actually did say it. Agnelli is a target. You know? Happy if he's there behind the scenes. I'm down with that. Behind the
Sure.
scenes. Not so hands-on, but yeah. Um yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Alex P, where's our sponsor? Does that mean we need Agnelli back?
That's a good question. Where
But
is our sponsor?
the sponsor thing is a joke. I don't understand how they can't lock up a main sponsor by now. I don't know if that's the be all end all for me to say, oh yeah, this is not moving in the right direction. No, no.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do try and do business with an Italian government entity. It's a joke.
Yeah,
It's a clown show.
it is a
Clown show.
clown show. But like I said, I don't know. They're piling a couple of these smaller sponsorships, but get the ball, like just lock up a bunch of the smaller ones and just make up for it or
Sure.
something and take what you can get now for a bigger one. I just don't think the commitment was there. I think it probably would have been their big sponsor would have been a very reduced fee and probably had to lock in for longer than they wanted. And they're thinking if things, they are kind of banking on Motta in a sense to get this team into some type of competitive juncture that they can lock something up better long term. So
And also any sponsorship you lock up now is going to be reduced or prorated down because they weren't on the first whatever third of the season. So
yeah, now it's gonna be, and again, yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one how it went down, but nonetheless, things aren't gonna be perfect. They're not gonna be perfect. It's always gonna be something.
they
Keep it
will be
moving.
today.
We talked about Skriniar.
You just don't.
60.
You never liked that. Even in the group chat, you're like, no.
I always thought he was overrated, even at
Hmm.
Inter.
Okay.
Always thought he was overrated. Played his best that back three there. He's at PSG. He's out of the project. But when I look at the other names, there's nothing also like sticking out to me that is like, okay, this is it. He's arguably the closest. So I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Well, I only know him from his time at Inter, obviously, but he's played in the league, knows the league. How old is this guy? Can someone give me an age?
I'll give you
Is
an
he
age quick here. Keep going
is
with your
he
thoughts.
he knows the opponents. He knows the style. I know we play in a back four. If he's used to a back three, that really doesn't concern me.
29.
Dry loan or just a loan, no obligation for half the season. Why not? He's a body. You never know. You never know if you
Yeah.
need him because you're not bringing anybody back on loan. We got to stop that talk. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. I don't know. I just
As a fifth
it'll
option at center back,
Juntoli, like he's gonna have an interesting January. In January, we know don't ever want to bank on January, but nonetheless, here we are. Here we are. It's not that the Dragusin track is dry, Alex. It's that nobody knows where Tottenham actually stands, and if there's any openness for them to like open up to this move. Nobody's saying that, oh yeah, it's a legit possibility. They're just saying that, he's a possibility because Juve's kind of interested there. And the player, from the player's end, might be pushing for minutes. Dragusin also kind of had the same concerns with us, if we remember, when it came crunch time to what we were going to do with Dragusin. All the talk was about Dragusin getting minutes. And we're like, look, you're going to probably have to move him because he ain't going to be able to stay here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the same thing. Nobody knows where Tottenham stands. There's Leo Ortiz, another rumored name there, but he's not really getting anybody fired up or anything. Like Skriniar might be it, but look, we're going to have to do with what we got the most. I think Cabal, this is where I started to open up about my feelings on Motta, answering questions. We got to know sooner or later how Cabal does at one of those center back roles, like the left center back role, centuries where he'd be playing. We got to learn that pretty soon. Agreed?
Yeah, yeah. I think we have the bodies in house. Sorry, Christian, if this microphone keeps rubbing on the jack. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better just for you, bud. Again, I'm just only hoping for a sack of water that can breathe and eat in January. That's all you should expect. But Cabal at center back, why not? Why not? Have we seen it this season though? I don't recall. Okay.
Only at left back, started off the season there was good, and then Motta, we didn't see him for a while. We're like, why? And then Motta came out and said, I see him more as a center back. But then let's see, so that you can offer rest. The only time we've seen rest was Danilo coming in, and then for 3 straight. So that's why I say, like, Motta, a little questionable, but we have to learn these answers. Yep. Another one is Dusan Vlahovic. So the stats come out, obviously. He started every single match. Yep. We all know that, obviously. He has started every single match. He's got, 8 goals in 14 appearances. He's at a goal every 144 minutes so far. No other forward in Italy has played as many minutes as Vlahovic. Even the top guys at some of these other clubs have got at least minimum 1 to 2 rests. And I don't know, it's funny. It's just like the guy needs a rest. His production is not bad. 8 goals in 14 appearances. It's not that that's bad as far as the goal scoring. We've talked a lot, and this keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. Our members chat yesterday, same discussion came up when it came around Dusan Vlahovic, and that's we need somebody technical. And I'm like, what about the chance creation as a whole for this team? I go, why are we so focused on who rather than what is actually going on? Because for me, I'm like, you know, because we've been having this kind of back and forth about our play in general. 81% possession against Udinese, who is dreadful. You have to walk away with more than 3 attempts.
Yeah.
For like
attempts, not even
attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about here? So I need to start to see an understanding of how we are going to, like, kind of feed him and how we're going to get the best out of him. And not only him, but like even the next guy. If you play the next guy, you want to keep with this one guy up top and a 10. By the way, something I've said repeatedly, none of our 10s play that the same, anticipated the same.
Sure.
Cope Miners has been one of the few to actually get close to Vlahovic. McKennie has done so, but McKennie is also lacks a little bit of the technical quality that you're going to mostly rely upon. So I'm still focusing on the overall before I'm attacking individuals. Do you agree?
It's a fair point. I've been on the side of the fence of giving more leash to everybody in the project and Motta, but on a micro, so that's on a macro level. On a micro level, which is where you're looking, I have to agree. Like, and I'm not going to completely defend Dusan. I think there is some lack of work there on his side as well. Like, you know, he can't just sit there and let 2 center backs, you know, mark him out of the game every time.
I 100% agree, and that's where most of my criticism is for him.
Right. Like, sometimes you got to create your own space, create your own, you know, opportunities. So that's on him. I would say more so on the other team creating opportunities for him. I think there's, but he's not completely, we'll call it, he's not completely blameless in all this. We're not
Yeah.
going to say it. Is another guy, and I'd have to agree, is another number 9 going to come in here and just automatically light things up for us? I don't, based on a micro level, game to game, I don't think so.
Yeah, and this is still where I stand with this team. Is like, that's why I've been saying I'm just smack dab in the middle, because I need to see. I need to see some. If all of a sudden we're generating like a ton, if we're really, really creating, we're humming, and Dusan just can't fit, just can't get his mark in there, then it's like, okay, I think we got some issues. But this big hope for just this technical guy in there to change it up. And again, going back to Motta, should Dusan have had a rest by now? And should you have had those answers? I say yes.
100%. Now, going back to the creation point real quick, we were doing that at the beginning of the season when Colt Myers was healthy. We were creating a lot at the beginning of the year.
We were doing good. We were doing better.
We can do it. It is possible. In terms of Duchan's rest, like, what are we talking about here? Like, I think everyone has had rest. Like, who maybe, well, Bremer was on a streak there where he didn't have any. Even like swapping out the goalies, but that is I'll agree. That's my one knock on Motta. How can you not have found some point this season for Duchan to sit for 60 minutes and come on at the end? It's a bit of a mind boggler. That just shows me he has faith in no one else up there.
Yeah, you've got to. You have to at least get some answers. Like I said, I mean, we've seen Weah up top at one substitute. He's been getting subs for Vlahovic, but in those games, at those moments, like, you're not gaining the answers that we need.
And I think we were up. I think we were up in all those games.
So November, we know after this game, you've got Torino, you've got Milan, you've got Aston Villa. So Lecce, Bologna, Man City, Venezia, Cagliari, Monza, Fiorentina, all in December. If you're going to ride this guy out starting every game until January, that's a recipe for disaster.
It is.
Would we have not liked to know a bit better by now, a solution, so that when you get to some of those games, you could see, like, right now, Lecce's kind of like this real pain in the ass team for big clubs for whatever reason. But Lecce might present an opportunity where you take that stab. That's 4 games away.
When's the Lecce game? Is that after the Aston Villa game?
That's December 1st. Okay. So outside of that, Venezia on the 14th. You've got Cagliari and Coppa Italia on the 17th of December.
He sits for that one.
So,
but again, you have to win that game? Sorry, is the Coppa Italia 2 legs, or is that 1 leg?
No, it's going to be 1 leg there. So only the semi becomes 2 legs. So you got to win. Like, it's this tough thing that I think Motta's having a tough time juggling, and that is ensuring that they get the results they want, which still we know we could have more points.
Yep.
Stuttgart didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
So today, we got to get to this game today with Lille.
Yep.
As far as Duchan goes, he's going to be in the lineup, okay? But like I said, there are some things we could maybe have found out more by now. So I'm not going all in on anybody, player or coach. I just think there's a fine line here between balance with the injuries that are there, still trying to ensure that we can go after it and get results. If people are telling me that Vlahovic is the one immediately affecting results, yes, you can point to 2 sitters. And honestly, I'm not going to argue that. I do expect him to bag those goals.
That's 4 points.
So maybe that's 4 points. That's putting us level with Napoli, by the way, at top, which is where we want to be. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough one here. But in terms of Champions League right now, we've kind of always said the Champions League games should suit us.
They
should
do.
be suiting this team. The
Other than
Stuttgart
Stuttgart.
one, holy smokes. The fear is that the same thing could go down with Lille because they might run us. The tempo should be fast. That's how they play.
And they're
play
at home.
very, very fast. They're at home. They're quick. They're going to close down in the middle very quickly because, like I said, you've got two teams that like to play in the same manner. You'll get a lot more changes from Lille in terms of adapting. Like when they played Real Madrid, for instance, they played like a 5-3-2. It was crazy. So completely shifted everything for that game. Found what a 1-0 result through Jonathan David PK. They beat Atletico Madrid. David got a brace. Zegrova, who was linked with Juve, is having a great season with him and David. This is going to be not an easy one.
One more with, so they do have a loss, but they did take a red card in that loss. It was like Sporting Lisbon, I think.
It was the opener for them, I think.
It was the opener. So realistically, this team could be 3-0 that we're playing today.
Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one. This is going to be a really tricky one for Juve. And when you look at Juve's side of things, so they do have 9 injuries. A couple, like a few key 9. They're all first team injuries, but a couple key guys that are not going to be there, but they still have coverage. They still have coverage. Like Gomez is going to end up playing in the advanced midfielder role behind David and stuff, which is no slouch compared to Cabella, etc. They'll be fine. So I'm not getting too worked up on their injuries. For Juve, this is where it gets interesting. This is Juve's best lineup, in my personal opinion, what we're projected to play with.
It's close. I would say yes. So is Di Gregorio back? Is his suspension served?
Yes.
Okay. Either way, I'm fine with pitting anyways. But other than that, yeah, I would agree. Projected lineup, go ahead.
4-2-3-1 for Lille. They're going to have Chevalier, Toure, Diakite, Mandi, Gudmundsson, Andre, Lukaku, Zegrova, Gomez, Sarawi, and David. For us, Di Gregorio, Cambiaso, Gatti, Kalulu, Cabal, Locatelli, Thuram, Conceição, Cope Miners, Yildiz, Vlahovic. Of course, subject to change here, but there's no excuses for Juve.
It's okay. So how many games you play in this competition? 8. So this is what, our 4th? Yeah, at the halfway point, there's no need to panic at this point, I would say. However, with the 2 English teams left to play, I don't know how Aston Villa's doing in the EPL
Aston
right
Villa's
now.
doing very, very well.
Okay, that sucks. Because when you got to deal with that, plus Man City, right? So 2 of your last 4 against those. One is at Man City's at home. Aston Villa is away. I don't know who and then we have Benfica, which is... So
Aston Villa's 3 wins out of 9 points with a goal differential of 6. Man City is 7 points, 2 wins, 1 draw with a goal differential of 9.
And Benfica?
Benfica is actually on... hang on a sec. Just ahead of Juventus on goal differential. Same thing, 2 wins, 1 loss.
Doesn't matter. Benfica could have 3 losses at this point, and they're still going to be a problem for us. We know that.
True.
They're our kryptonite. So this has to be 3 points. Unfortunately, I'm always the one to be like, the other team stinks. I'm going to change my tone a little bit here.
Yeah.
This is a completely different situation. There's no like you get your points, we'll get them in the return leg. No. This is it. You got one shot at this team, and I still have faith that we'll finish in that middle group. I'm not worried about the relegation, but one of the team's objectives was to get to the round of 16, which means you got to finish in the top 8. Dropped points here today sort of closes that window a lot on the top 8.
It's going to be a playoff. Yeah. It'll end up being
just by the number.
Get in a playoff. Like top 8 dies today without 3 points, I think.
Because
So
those top 8 teams out of 8 games, they're winning 5, at least
yeah,
5.
like
So you're going to go with those. That's 15, maybe a couple draws. So you're looking at, you need at least 16, 17 points the way things are shaking out to get in that top 8.
yeah, it's gonna
So
be they were
we
saying
can't lose any more
15.
games. That's
They're
the thing.
saying 15 gets you in there. I think it's gonna be around there. 15, 16 gets you in, but I think top 8, given the matchups we have coming, that's what it's not just necessarily about points, etc. It's that I don't think we should be banking on a lot out of, like, Villa's even going to be difficult. City, even though at home, is going to be, we know that's going to be interesting to see how Motta approaches that game. And that's going to be interesting for a lot of different reasons, adapting, etc. Like we talked about Lille's coach, how he adapted to playing a giant and what he did. It's going to be interesting. This one, I expect the two teams to play straight up. He's going 4-2-3-1 against us, and we will play 4-2-3-1. I said anyways, I believe the 2-man pivot will help us in balance. Should be good. This whole thing about fitness and tired.
Okay.
Do you have any concerns that, maybe the fact that we are going with these guys, Locatelli, Thuram after last game, Conceição will go back in the starting line, should be good, but Yildiz again, Vlahovic again, Cole Miner's still not 100% fit. Do you have concerns that maybe that could be a detriment in this game if we're expecting Lille to run us hard, maybe the same manner Stuttgart did?
The only person I have concerns with fitness is Vlahovic. That's it. I know what people say, well, he doesn't do as much running as the other players, but he's taken some hits, right? He's out there. I don't hear of any sort of reduced training for that. He gets extra days off because he's been playing every minute. Other than that, I think we have coverage at every position simply because guys have played a lot of time in certain positions as backups or starters. So I think you may not like some of the players we bring in because, sometimes you say, we got too much muscle in the middle. I agree with that, but the players coming in aren't coming in cold. Like they've played a lot of minutes at their positions as backups or starters, except for somebody backing up Vlahovic. So the cover, I'm okay with the coverage. I'm okay with who's starting. I'm not concerned about fitness because we have players coming in. But man,
this is
if we go up 2, I'm not saying we will. People are going to shun me for this. Let's just say we go up 2. Dusan's got to come out of the game immediately. We got to see what else we have up there.
Yeah, that was my one, thing that was bothering me about that Udinese game. When we saw Yildiz go up there, we were playing in a manner that it didn't even matter. You don't gain anything. You don't learn anything, right? So I agree with you there. Like, it'd be nice to see. So we can get some rest coming up. December's jam-packed with games. November, a little bit lighter, and we have an international break. December is jammed. And then don't forget, January, you have the Supercopa tournament. So
that's in Saudi, right? Is that still in Saudi?
They're doing it there again. Yeah, so people will actually show up because Juve's in it this year. They were looking for us last time. Much love, Saudi. Much love. Now, this game, Lille.
I got the referee stats.
Unbeaten.
Go ahead. You finish, but I got the referee stats.
Beautiful. Unbeaten in 8 matches in all comps.
They're
on a great run. Okay.
French league things.
Juve are unbeaten away from home in all comps.
We should make a petition that all Juventus games are on the road from here on out.
Road Warriors, baby. Animal and Hawk should be there, not these prime clowns. We should have Animal and Hawk as our boys.
Giddy up.
Rest in peace, Hawk there, okay?
Yeah.
But, Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, baby. I love it. Juve, of course, the only unbeaten team in Serie A this season. But again, the feelings around some of the matches change everyone's perspective as far as where they sit in confidence. This game, I think this is the moment. this is the juncture, even despite Cope Miners not being 100%, this is the moment for us to make a statement. Mm-hmm. Take a team that's riding high on confidence. Don't worry about the injuries. Like I said, they'll still have a formidable side, okay? So I'm not going to discredit because of that. I'm telling you, this is our chance to make a statement. Play our game. Impose the positives. This is what I need to see. This is our best possible lineup, in my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. The argument for Savona, Cambiasso on the left can be made, but for me, this is the best possible right now. You can also make an argument for getting McKennie in there as opposed to Thuram.
He's playing well.
I'm fair with those arguments, okay? I'm fine with it.
But I don't like McKennie back there beside Locatelli.
I think this evens out your progression and attack from left to right. Because
the way it's set up with Thuram, you mean?
Yeah, because Thuram can advance the ball very, very well. Mm-hmm. Cope Miners continues to do his thing, orchestrating and organizing the press. Let's win the ball back. Let's keep the positives rolling out of Udinese, but let's ramp up the creation. Lille, while on a good run, they do give up opportunities. They do give up healthy opportunities. We got to take advantage. But this is the moment, this is the game for us to make a serious statement. And again, we'll definitely reignite top 8 hopes. But they're definitely on the line today. And give me the ref numbers, and then let's get to the good stuff.
Some of the comments.
I don't know about this Dushan with the girlfriend and creative lips and strong neck. Come on there.
Bring it up. But the Hawk tune is amazing. Anyways, this is a family show. All right, everybody? This is a family show.
Oh, my goodness, you guys.
You guys, thank you. Thank you for bringing that this morning. We needed the energy this morning. Okay, so the referee stats. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's last name, so I'm just going to say his first name is Irfan. He's from Bosnia-Herzegovina. All right? We could be in for one today, Berto. We could be in for one today. All right? This guy has done 20 Europa League matches, 4.5 yellows per game, 5 reds, 6 PKs in 20 matches. Seems a little high. He's done 16 Champions League matches, so 4.2 yellows. So he's averaged about 4.5 yellows, 3 reds in those 16 games, 8 PKs in 16 Champions League matches. A 50% clip is, we haven't seen that before. In all the referee stats we've done, that's a lot. Now, here's the kicker. This son of a bitch has only done 9 games in his domestic league.
Interesting. So how the heck is this guy getting? Yeah, weird.
So he's done 3. So he did 3.8 yellows, 1 red, 2 PKs in those 9 games. No. So he refereed a game October 23rd, Celtic Atalanta, October 14th. That was the Belgium-France. And then September 18th, so almost a month off. He did Club Brugge, Dortmund, and then 10 days off, September 8th, Switzerland, Spain. And then between September 8th, August 13th, he did a Champions League qualifier. This guy's going on vacation between games, so he may pull a hammy. There could be a bet if this referee actually finishes the game. He could pull up a hammy.
Yeah.
So the last game he did was October 23rd, so that's over almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So loves the PKs in Champions League. Yellows at 4.5 a game. That's pretty average for what we see. 4-5 yellows per game. But that 50% clip of PKs in Champions League, man.
I guess we gotta get into it and what we think. I don't know if I literally posted it not long before it went live, but you guys saw what. Hey, I told you I'm doing predictions through EAFC 25. 3-1 Lille simulation by the video game. I gave the video game a big one of these.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to let it run my prediction today. But I feel a certain way. But it is time to get the predictions. Final score, 2 tiebreakers, and then you know the drill. We get into Storm the Barn, baby. Okay, and reminder, everybody, Get those likes up. Take a second. Get those likes up. Let's go.
It's simple. You just got to hit that thumb. Everybody knows how to work YouTube. Like,
Let's go.
if you don't know
Let's
how to work
rock it.
YouTube, okay. Anyways, so I got the betting lines. Juventus is actually slightly favored in this game, so they're plus 145. Lille's plus 200. Draw plus 220. The draw, that's a good bet for a draw. So just some goal scoring. Anytime goal scorers: Duson's plus 185. Jonathan Davis plus 230, Yildiz plus 350, Chico plus 420. Not bad to spread some Chico on that.
Not bad.
I'm going to go with Dusan and Chico as our goal scorers in a 2-1 victory.
Okay.
2-1 scoreline is plus 900. I'm going to go over 4.5 yellows with this Bosnian piece of work. And I'm going to go halftime draw. And I'll say second half. So halftime draw. I'll say second half over 1.5 goals. So all the scoring is going to come in the second half.
So let's see what we got here. So Yorio thinks Juve wins 3-0 or 3-1. All right. Forza EA really seemed, I'm starting to get the vibes here. And we're one of the official sponsors, but Jesus, we can't. I haven't got one good result out of the 3 games to start doing that.
Juve 3-0 is plus 2,800.
Ooh. Yorio. Jump on it. Tomas, 4-1.
0-0 plus 7. Do you think there's a chance this goes 0-0? That's plus 750.
No.
I don't think it goes 0-0.
There's goals in there.
Yeah.
Tuna Steaks 3-1. Get the attack firing with the classic Dusan brace.
Love it, Tuna. See, Tuna gets the jersey, and all of a sudden he's all aboard the Dusan train. Love it.
Forza Juve 3-1 for Juve. Dusan, Cope Miners, Cambiaso.
If Cope Miners scores
by
in this
Cope
game,
Miners, 1 goal from Savona. Okay. 3-1 Juve. Gatti will finally score on a corner. We will concede a penalty on something stupid. 0-0. Ooh, I think there's goals here. Aldo's going wild here. 4-3. Ooh. Suarez going 2-2 or 3-3 draw.
So think about it.
Say this.
We've been in more wild 4-3, 4-4, 3-2 games than we've seen in a long time. We haven't seen that sort of action in a while.
Jonathan Dave in the EA simulation, he got a hat trick against us, for God's sakes.
Okay, why do you believe video games? What are we even talking about?
Does he get one today? I wouldn't be surprised, because every time we target somebody, it feels like they score against us. Well, we targeted Jigrova and David. So will one of those guys score? Most likely. I see us conceding one. Do we have the potential for multiple goals in it? Absolutely. Do they have the potential for multiple goals in this? Potentially. I feel like a 2-2 draw is coming up. And I'm going to say that maybe as a jinx, in hopes that Juve takes me out of this place where I'm at right here and brings me back up here, because that's where I want to be.
Who scores first in your 2-2 draw? You don't have to use it as a prediction, but who do you think scored? Who's scoring first today? And then I'll give you the numbers. I'll give you the number. If we score first, we are 6-0. We have 6-0. We have 6 wins, 1 draw, 0 goals conceded when we score first. If we score first, we're a completely different team.
I do think we. It's tough to say. I think they might strike first.
At home, it's not a bad bet.
I think it goes 1-0. I think we don't come back from 2. So it's 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. I think we might. Yeah, and one of these goals, I'll say as my second tiebreaker, will be a PK. There will be a PK in this game.
I think that's easy money.
Yeah, easy money. So one will be a PK. I think it goes 1-0. They'll score first. We equalize. We take the lead and maybe concede in a very, very stupid fashion. But I could see this game. I feel like it's got draw written all over it. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, Motta, Juve, boys, bring me back up here. That's where I
I
want to
gotta
be.
I gotta look at the stats again, but we have I get the feeling, and I gotta look at the numbers, that we haven't conceded late. It seems like we concede early, and then that's pretty much it. Like even the Inter match, they didn't score their fourth. I think it was early in the second half. They scored. I think it was like a 47th, and then we took over the reins from there. So I don't. We seem to lock it down whether we're up or down later in the game, which was a bit of our kryptonite in the past, where we would concede late. I
Yeah,
don't see this
Parma
team
got
doing it
both their goals in the first
first
half.
half.
Um, Inter scored, I think, their last one at the 53rd minute.
See,
So,
we lock it down late. So if we're gonna concede, I'd like to concede early
other than the
because
Stuttgart game, which came, I think, at stoppage.
oh, there you go. Weren't we down a man at that point? We did
Yeah,
pretty well considering we were down a man. But
we brought in Ruhi, left Gatti on the fucking bench. Like I said, questionable Motta decision there. We let in a PK against Cagliari late. That drew that game. That was 88th, I think. 87th. It was a late PK there. Yeah, but for the most part, you're right.
but for the most part, we right.
Yeah, for the most part, we
We seem
lock
to
it
figure it
down
out.
late. So, yeah, we just like I said today. There's a lot riding on this. Your top eight hopes are for sure on the line. Got to take care of business. Got to take care of business. I'm excited for this game though. Like I said, I think if you're a neutral, this will be a great watch because I think both teams get after it. I think after Stuttgart, like one of the things we talked about that we did do against Udinese was answer the bell off the hop. Has to happen
Bring it
today.
right out
Has
of the
to.
gate. You
Yeah.
slap that horse's ass right out of the gate. That's what we need.
Giddy up,
Giddy up.
get going right off the hop. Today you can't afford to pass the stride. And like I said, we'll know 15 minutes in if we are slow and they're coming up because they're going to be quick. They play quick naturally. They're going to be running us. That tempo. I need to see us be able to shift that tempo. Back home in Italy, it's nothing like that. Like
Do
it
you
is nothing like that.
do you have any concerns about any players on the field not being able to play at that tempo in our predicted starting lineup?
Um,
Tudon?
no, like even to be honest, like just the team as a whole. I feel like when I saw Stuttgart running us hard like that, we are so slow to get into position to be that option for the guy that gets on the ball. It leads to these turnovers because he's got nowhere to go with it. And if you're not going to fight through and be able to retain the ball or at least draw a foul, like you're screwed. And if you don't get the call, they take it. They're running it down our throats. Like the midfield, they're going to have to be sharp. They're going to have to be on point. Locatelli has to be able to get those decisions, get them right quicker. One touch, passing here and there, but the guys off the ball have to get their legs going. Because if you don't, you're screwed. That's what happened against Stuttgart. The legs weren't there, and we were screwed from the back. There was nothing from defense and midfield. That can't happen today. They have to be sharp. The legs got to be working. Legs got to be working. But I don't have concerns that the guys in there can't do it.
Got it.
I still have faith. Like we said, and this is the concern about this. If you see anything similar to Stuttgart and they crank up the tempo and we can't keep up, and this is to a large degree outside of two question marks, our best 11, then, concerns could be there. Right? But I don't think there's going to be concerns. I think we'll see a strong Juventus ready to make right what happened against Stuttgart. I think Motta, and I hope I'm right on this feeling, but I feel like that one ate away at him. And I feel like he knows. Yeah, like I feel like he knows. And I'm starting to get the vibes like he's starting to move in the right direction. And he gave guys opportunities and stuff. But I think now you're going to start seeing him settle into your actual top lineup. You know? And I think you'll see 1-2 changes here and there. But I don't think you're going to see so much surprises as we have up until this point. I think now he's going to start locking it in.
Like Ruhi's not coming into this game.
Not unless it's 3-0. Like, so
even then.
There you go. And he had to learn. He had to learn and sort it out. All right. Now, listen to Pino, everybody, okay? Let's listen to Pino. Hit the like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Your one-stop shop for everything Juventus. Vincenzo G with the Storm the Barn.
Here we go.
Can you make a case that Yildiz looks better when Cambiasso is behind him?
He's played well when Cabal's back there. I think he's had his best perform. Yeah, let me think about that for a second. The performances I remember is when Cabal's behind him. But I'm okay to be proven wrong here.
I've had no issues with Yildiz no matter who the hell's behind him. I'll be quite honest. Like, this guy just needs to be on the pitch. The biggest thing with Yildiz is getting him close and around that area so that he can be in the areas where he can strike and he can create something. We just can't have him locked up on the flank for large periods of the game. And that's going to be down to... Yeah, it's going to be down to how we utilize whoever the fullback is there. I don't think it's dependent on who the fullback is behind him. And I stand firm. Cambiasso, for me, is far better on the right side of the pitch than he is the left. That's just my thing. But Yildiz, I think Yildiz does well with whoever the hell is there. I've never had an issue with him this season. You know, you hear media reports, you read them, you see them talking about production, and you know, he had some games he wasn't getting shots and around. Like, but look at how the games play out. Look at what's going. Every time he's on the ball, he's such a strong dribbler, so good on it. And it's like literally just find a way to get him in the opportunity in the area where that is crucial and critical. So it's still finding a way to utilize your best players in the best areas as a team. And this is the same for Vlahovic. It's the same for Cope Miners. I don't want Cope Miners out on a flank.
Can't hide him. Nope.
I need him to be central between the edges of the 18, smack dab in that range, able to strike or create. I need him in there, especially today. So he's probably going to be my man of the, like, my player to watch, I think, in this game. Who's yours, Ant? Is it Cope Miners?
I've always said this team's going to go as Cope Miners goes. He will eventually be our general. Not necessarily our captain. He is our best player. He's our best player. We need him to be our best player. You still can make the excuse about the rib thing. Again, we talk about this all the time. You know about the ribs. I saw the AJC Twitter account post this morning a story about how he had to sleep sitting up for like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
That's not sleep.
Right. That's just, right.
Yeah. I've been there, done that. That's not sleep.
Yeah. So, Cope Miners, again, I'd agree with that. Anybody else? Locatelli's been on good form, so I'm not worried about it. Tudam. I'd like to see how, because he's such I would say, a little bit of a polarizing figure. From where we sit, you know, we see people's responses to the tweets and the AJC, the comments here. People seem to be either like with him or not with him. I'd like to see a strong outing from Tudam to kind of quiet down all the not negativity against him.
Yeah, Thuram needs to just clean up the errors. He's gonna have to be smart on the ball today for sure, because they will transition rapidly. Chico Conceição could feast today. If they want to come out and play their game, he's going to have space. He is definitely one to watch for us. Chico might have a lot of room out there. And same thing. If they look to double team there, well, their setup, the way they're going to play, that'll open up a lot if we can swing it into the center there. That's why it's crucial that we get Colt Miners more advanced and more central. Because if Chico's going to have space, if they want to clamp that down, that's going to draw an extra defender. Don't keep Colt Miners out there on that flank. Like, get your fullback up and slide him in to where the 10 should be playing. And I think we can really do some damage. This is going to be an interesting one to play out. Like, yeah, it's pound for pound, player for player. It's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I think I could see this thing going back and forth for like 10 minutes maybe, you know, like wave after wave. Like, it could be one of those exciting games. Hopefully it holds up at the back there. If you could bring any of the fathers of the current roster in their prime, who are you bringing to Juve? Fathers of the current roster.
I can only think of one. Someone's got to help me with the other ones.
George Weah?
No, I'm bringing Thuram in. Like, just
Lilian Thuram? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just plop them right in. Yeah. George Weah was unbelievable. He was an unbelievable player.
Oh, he was insane. He was insane.
But at this point, with our current roster, I'm bringing Lilian back. Oh, Conceição's bad. That's right.
I feel okay at the back, man. George Weah up top. Woo! Woo!
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You guys play that EA. See if you can do it in EA. See how it works out for you.
It's actually criminal they don't have George Weah in there, but they brought in Lilian Thuram this year as an icon, which is crazy. He wasn't in there before. But yeah, Weah, like,
John McKennie.
It's crazy. Great pick. By the way, either one of those guys. I don't think there's a wrong answer. There's also Conceição's father, but I'm not, like, what are we talking about here? No disrespect to Chico's pops, but
you're about to disrespect him.
Yeah, you're kind of going to get disrespected. John McKennie for Twitter would be top drawer.
Top drawer. Immediate starter.
Top drawer on Twitter. For the admin, oh yeah, it would be John. Knock on wood. What is the game plan if Kalulu or Gatti go? Oh my God, I don't even want to think about this.
It's Danilo. That's the game plan. Unfortunately.
No, he's out. He's suspended. So he's not even a squad list. Savona or Cabal.
He's suspended because of yellows?
He got 2 yellows and a red, so he misses a game. Yeah, because it's a red. So that's why he's not on the squad list today.
He got a red? I don't remember. See, sorry, people. Yeah, the old age is starting. Great news.
He got 2 yellows in like immediate succession against Stuttgart. Kick to the junk, gave him the PK. Perrine stopped it, and then he got like another. Yeah, it was
okay.
It was terrible.
So I think Cabal's going to have to be the backup.
If something were to happen and one of those guys had to leave the game, I'll be quite honest. I'd probably go, and this is going to contradict, I want to see Cabal at that center back spot, but I go Savona just because defensively, I don't have any issues with Savona. And I probably would bring him back there because I think defensively he's strong. My reason, and Motta's even said he can do it and he could play there. Because here's why I'd do it. Like Savona, the only reason I wouldn't play him to start in this game and why I'd go Cabal on the left and Cambias on the right is because when he gets pushed defensively, you lose that offensive like influence from him at the fullback role. Because he is stay at home first and foremost. It's defense first with him, flat out. So in a pinch, I would probably go there first because it's kind of a toss-up as far as passing errors between Savona and Cabal. They both have a lot to their name. But I almost feel slightly more secure at a pinch at a center back role with Savona. Personally.
Interesting. I disagree. Yeah. I'd be more confident with Cabal because, and I think maybe my memory's being polluted with some of the bad performances between the two. I think Savona's had more noticeable bad performances compared to Cabal. At the end of the day, you make a strong case for Savona, and I see a lot of the chat here is saying he's built to be a center back. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think we have coverage. I'd be more comfortable with Cabal. I'll end up with that.
Yeah.
But you bring up a good point with if you don't want to lose anything on the wings or the wing backs or the outside backs.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like Savona could probably do right in the heart as center back, maybe a bit better, but it's a little bit of a gamble from both. If I look at some of the goals that we've allowed and I look at like how these other guys reacted, I haven't seen either one of them really save a center back. Like I haven't seen really Savona make like a good I haven't seen Cabal pick up for a missed coverage or anything and save the day on like there's a lot of standing there and watching, so it's kind of this questionable thing. But yeah, it's just a preference when it comes to players. It's preference, and sometimes that'll just it'll go either way. Oh, Tony Trim, this is, by the way, Jonathan David's agent. Okay,
right here.
Even before signing him in FIFA, I had to talk to Trim. That's how ridiculous it is. Okay, but would you pay David $7 million a season? I say no, thank you.
Agent. We're getting away from the high salaries, as we've seen in the news. I know everyone says do something. We get it. We understand. Yes, he's on a high salary. This management did not give him that salary. So outside of that, we're seeing a trend towards 3.5 to. Outside of that, what's the highest? 6.5?
I think Bremer's on 8. Outside of Duchamp, Bremer's the highest.
What are we talking about here? He deserves it.
Yeah.
Again, outside of those two, we're looking 6. I don't see 7. As a backup striker, if we sell Dusan, I wouldn't have a problem with 7. If we have both of them there, I just don't see the management doing it. I don't have an issue with paying him that much if he's going to put balls in the back of the net. My whole stance has always been you got to pay strikers. That's what you got to do. You got to pay strikers, unfortunately.
I look at this and what are we... So I'll just pull it up quick so that we have like a reference point because the immediate thought that jumps to my mind is where's Milik at? Because I think Milik's just shy of 5. Okay?
That's a problem.
So this definitely influences my decision. So if we look at this...
well, while you're bringing that up, I see Forts Juve here says, if Fede could get $7 million a season, no way David should get something close to it. To be honest...
So Milik's at 4.5 gross.
Chiesa has done nothing to earn $7 million a season. I don't know what...
I'm done talking about players, especially Liverpool players. Like, I'm done talking about players that leave.
Look at that. Look at that.
It is what it is. But
in fairness,
in fairness, Chiesa did not have much of a leg to stand on for the increase that he wanted at Juve. And I believe if he wanted to remain at Juve, that bridge gap could have been done and handled without going into his final contract year, and it would have been more than fair. It is what it is. I've moved on. Milik makes 4.5 million gross. If we're talking about 7 for David, who's been banging in goals, even for like Champions League, Because if you say whatever you want about the French league, I still say you can't, like, wherever these guys are playing, do you want the guys that are scoring or the guys that, aren't producing? The fact he's producing at a crazy rate, 7's it's a bit much. It's a bit much.
Gross or net? What are we talking about here? There's two different numbers.
If he wants 7 net, that's tight. That's tight.
That's a no.
That's tight. That's tight. I don't really.
So Dusan, I believe, is 12 net. So
he's 12. He's net 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross,
and
it's like 20.
And Milik is 4.5 gross.
Jonathan David currently makes 1.6 gross. You're telling me he wants 7 net? I think 7 gross probably gets him.
I would do 7 gross because that somewhere around 4.
7 gross is definitely doable, and
100% doable.
You got 4.5 out on Milik. Yeah, 7 gross is doable.
100%.
But he's making 1.6 right now, so like, should be happy.
He's currently the Brock Purdy of available strikers.
He's going to have, like I said, the chase is going to be on, though, in the summer for this guy, so we'll see. Guys, get the likes up. More Storm the Barn coming. I got actually a little bit of a heater for Skanga that I'm going to bring up here. With the chaos at Man U, do we make a run for Xerxes to reunite with Motta? I don't know.
I didn't even know that's where he was.
The numbers are going to be so, like I said, everyone's talking about him in a potential loan scenario. Man U is trying to, like, avoid this. They're trying to fight the perception that is there from, like, everyone around that they are not a dumpster fire. Doing something with Xerxes so fast after coming in here, but everything's up in the air. New coach coming in, Ten Hag being sacked. Who knows what the hell's going to go on? The deals for Juve have to be right. Again, I said things don't, like, we don't go heavy anymore. You spent 163.8 million the past summer. It's going to still have to be smart. Moving on. Xerxes, I don't think the numbers will make sense for us. I don't think they will. That's just me. I don't think numbers are going to make sense.
It all comes down to what the Dusan. I think they want to get that. My belief is that they want to get that Dusan contract fixed before the January window, so they can figure out. They can get their game plan ready January through June for the next summer window.
Yeah. Now
they have to.
Tomas asks, would you sell Vlahovic and get Gyökeres in the summer? So let's.
Didn't he ask this last show?
What's that?
I think he asked this in the last show too.
So,
or somebody.
So Gyökeres obviously plays in Portugal. Okay.
Obviously.
10 matches. 16 goals, 1 assist in the Portuguese league.
Okay.
Champions League in 3 matches, he's got 2 goals, 1 assist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy is just the focus of everyone right now. 70 million roughly price tag on this guy. He's 26 years old. 26.
That's not old.
It's not old.
He's Swedish.
26-year-old Swede got
hard no. That's a hard no from me.
It's a hard no for you.
Yeah,
a hard no.
The last Swede we had was a mercenary.
Hey,
I don't want to see him back. I'm sorry. I'm biased. And I know we have Swedish supporters of the show. Love you all. But your players, don't want them on our roster.
Oh, man. Poor little Adam. Poor little Adam, man.
Oh, no. What happened? Adam.
Well, he's a Swede. He's a Swede. Yeah. Ibra. I don't fault Ibra with what went down there. Gyökeres is at 2.4 gross. 2.4 gross salary. Pick him up. Kulishevsky was a bad sweet. Man, I never liked that move.
Who was it? Poulsen was the other Swede. He was serviceable. Oh. Yeah, Ruhi's like 10 years old, so we're not going to slander the children.
10 years old. No. Actually, I always will love Ibra. I love Ibra. Jokeres. All I'm going to say is,
nice.
If we decide to move Vlahovic, Jokeres is definitely on the radar. That's all I'm going to say. Okay?
Yeah.
If this, because I'm going to leave it up to the club, because again, you guys know my thoughts. Like, I still think there's a lot to the team elements we could bring here, but straight pound for pound, if you could just boom, insert Jokeres here and get rid of Vlahovic, I still drum up questions about this team overall and how we play and getting it going. I'm at the point now where I don't really see an individual failing tremendously in the grand scheme of things. But that's just me. There could be, I don't know. It's a tough one with Vlahovic. It really is. I don't think he's at the point now where he's completely failed this season. He's at 8 goals in all comps, 14 games. It's a tough one. Jokeres is definitely on the list. If you put a gun to my head today, though, and say you could take Vlahovic out of this lineup and move Jokeres in, because of recency bias and how Jokeres is doing, probably lean and say, yes, bring me in this guy. But my gut's telling me we'd see some of the same frustration. That's just me personally.
And it's not a thought that's brought out of any sort of, like, you have facts. Like, you just the way things look. That's a valid concern. Is what I'm trying to get at.
It's just the way things look to me, how the team plays and stuff. So yeah, who is the most technical and complete number 9 on the market if we replaced Duchamp?
No idea.
Most technical and complete on the market? Who's on the market?
No idea.
We don't even know who's on the market. We're just hearing rumors now about what could happen in the summer without actually really knowing. You'd think that Jokeres is out there on the market. But give me the list of 9s. Seshko is great. Is he the most technical and complete? I don't think so. I don't think he would be more complete and rounded.
Oh, Moise Kean. Somebody put Kean on here.
No, more technical and complete? No.
God, they're
definitely not Luca. Agree. Definitely not Luca. Is Openda not more of a winger? But he could play up top. He plays in a partnership up top. He's pretty well rounded. It's pretty well rounded. Guy Jokeres is fairly rounded. Decent. You know, Jonathan David the most well-rounded? He's up there.
He's the most high-profile one that's available.
So. He's up there. I think, it's interesting when you look at it. I've got a question, though. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Enough with these. Let's talk about our guys.
Mm-hmm.
Start, sit,
another one?
Sell.
Okay. Yep.
Yildiz, Chico, and Cambiaso.
Start, sit, sell. I would.
Matches. That's horrible.
I am waiting for some help from the army here. I know this makes for terrible viewing when someone's just staring at the screen. I am on current form. I am starting Chico.
Oh, this is awesome.
Benching Yildiz, selling Cambiaso. Current form. That's a tough one. I apologize. That's going to upset a lot of people.
Cambiasso is one of my favorite players on the roster.
He is. Yeah, he is. You and Lou, I get it. I'm not. You asked the question, and you're forcing me into a corner here.
But here's the thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yildiz, I think his ceiling is insane.
Is much higher than the other two. I agree.
Like Yildiz is in either a start or a sit spot. Chico Conceição is a game changer. Like he could break a game. Cambiasso is he's so good all around and can just play anywhere you put him and do a job. I might
just do it.
Might start Cambiasso, sit Yildiz, and sell Chico.
Cambiasso. Is it? How am I saying it? I'm getting
Cambiasso. Cambiasso.
Cam. All right, whatever.
Cambiasso. Yeah, that is tough. That is tough. We only asked the tough ones here. I had to get you guys all rolling, and yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Couple more, and then I got to roll here. What do we got? I see two.
Get the likes up. Get the likes up.
Come on.
Harry Maguire or oh my God, not even a Rugani.
Rugani, not even close.
It's not even close. Not even close. If Madrid is offering 70 to 80 million for Cambiasso, would you take it? Holy shit.
Yes, immediately. I couldn't click my pen fast enough to hand it over the table. 70 or 80 million dollars for the player whose last name starts with C and ends with O? Yes.
I love Cambiasso, but my God, 70 to 80 million is a lot of money.
What are we even talking about, Berto? You, in a heartbeat, you would take that.
Not if I sold somebody else.
You sidewinding son of a bitch.
If they came in for 70 or 80, but you sold Vlahovic, then no. Bremer money. That's Bremer money. And same thing. What if Bremer got sold for big money? Then no, you can't. You got to keep some key guys.
Sure.
It's so hard to say no to 80 mil for like any player. That's huge.
Huge money. Except Bremer. Bremer is the only one I wouldn't sell for that.
I'd push for 100. Fuck it. You want Cambiasso 100. That's my answer. You know what? And Real Madrid in general, let's go. Let's go. You guys, huge one today. Apologies. I cannot get out of I love the Cambrota, by the way. Cambrota. Let's go. Let's go. Except Zambrota used to be disgusting left or right. And Cambiasso was going to get the info.
You got to figure it out.
Love Cambiasso, though. My favorite current player, safe to say, is Cambiasso. Mm-hmm. But 80 million, I got to think about it. And nonetheless,
the salad.
Top 8 hopes on the line today, everybody, okay? EAFC 25. Hit the big day, okay? I don't understand how they hate us when we're an official sponsor, but we got to start winning some of those. They say 3-1, Jonathan David hat-trick. I say 2-2 draw. Skanga says 2-1 victory. Dusan and Chico with the goals. I say get ready for a PK one way or another. This guy from Bosnia is, who knows where we're getting. He's got a hell of a record shooting 50% for PKs in matches he's officiated. This one's got everything there to be a barn burner. I think it will be a barn burner. Hopefully we come out on the right side with 3 points. It's going to be tough. And yes, no behind enemy line. You know what? I had an Udinese fan. She had some issues. She had family matters. It fell through. Lille, I couldn't even find a Lille fan. They're probably, well, I don't know. Couldn't find a Lille fan to get in here. It's not so easy. Finding these fans. Torino for the Derby della Mole coming up this weekend. I'll be able to find one. and then
No
we'll be
problem.
back with the Behind the Enemy Lines. Skanga, absolute pleasure as always. You
Beauty.
guys got to take it to the French today. Got to take it to the French. Okay? Absolutely zero excuses. Best possible lineup. Answer the bell right out of the gate and take it to Lille and give them the big day. Forza Juve. Fino alla fine. We're back tomorrow covering, hopefully, victory Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the match. We'll talk to you real soon. Ciao.
Set the tone.